All right, welcome back to part 3 of I Do Your Homework, except it's not homework, it's just review. This is for if you found question 7 the most challenging. Not all of these are hard, I would say. Some of them are just the same as the last video, but either way, make sure you are looking at what they're giving you, you're looking at what they're asking for, and then you think about what do I know that will help me get there. Okay, so question 1. A charity receives a donation of $250. That's my total. A sponsor matches 60% of the donation. How much money does the charity receive? Okay, in total, please be careful. This is reading comprehension here. So a charity gets this much and a sponsor matches this much. So if you match money, you are paying that much on top of whatever you have here. Okay, so we obviously need to find what 60% of the donation is to find out how much the sponsor paid. Okay, so given, right, they got a $250 donation, and then the sponsor's gonna match 60% of 250. So adding it together, okay? Required. We need the total. We need the total amount of money. Okay, they're not asking for a percentage. They're asking for how much money we need. So what am I gonna do? Well, I kind of did that when we analyzed it earlier. I need to find 60% of 250, which I know how to do by turning my percentage into a decimal fraction and then multiplying by 250, and then I can add the 250 back on, okay? Or there's another option, okay? But I'll show you both of them. So anyway, we're gonna solve. My two options were I find 60% of 250, so that's 60% as a decimal, and then times 250. I don't have to put that extra 0 there, but I'm doing it just because. Carry the 3. That's 12 plus 3 is 15. And then that's all 0, 0, 0, so I don't really have to do that. 2 decimal places, 150. So 60% of 250 is 150. Okay, so 150 is matched on top of the 250, so I got to do 250 plus 150. All right. I'm not going to do that because otherwise my work is not clear. So 250 plus 100 is 350 plus 50 is $400. So $400 total. Okay, that's one way. The other way is kind of like tax. Remember, you can do the 100% with the whatever additional percent there is. So 250 is 100%. We get 60% in addition. So in total, we actually get 160%. So you could do 160% of 250. All right, so again, I'm going to turn that into a decimal or a fraction. I don't want to do fraction today, so we're just going to do that. So 1.6 times 250. 250 times 1.6, 0, 30, 15, placeholder, 0, 5, 2. Add, carry the 1. Okay, 1 decimal place, 400. Okay, so you see how I got to the end result immediately. So it's kind of like how we do tax. So then I need my statement. Okay, my statement is the charity will receive $400 in total. Next. Okay, Jordan completed 7/10 of a workout. What decimal and percent should their fitness app display? This one is easy. Given we got 7/10 completed. Okay, so they told us what was completed. And then we're required, we just need that in a decimal and percentage format. That's so easy. We don't even have to like use critical thinking here. Okay, so I'm going to convert them. This is my solving. So 7/10, obviously you can either say, I know that's 0.7, which is 70%. You can make an equivalent fraction out of 100, right? Because that's how we can, so it's going to be, oh, I shouldn't put the multiplication symbol there. Okay, that could be times 100 times 100. Not times 100. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Okay, times 10 times 10, 70, automatically 70%. Okay. Or you can do top divided by bottom, which I think is kind of unnecessary in this case. All right, and then times 100 equals 0.12, not 0. Be careful. Okay, 70%. So now I need my statement. My statement is the fitness app should display 0.7 or 70%. Next, a cafeteria sells 25% of its apples in the first hour. So 25% sold first hour. Okay, and then 0.4 of the leftovers sold in the second hour. Okay, if they started with 120 apples, so this is 120 apples is the total. How many and are left? So required is how many left. Okay, so first, obviously, if I have 2 hours, I'm gonna have to find each hour separately. So the first one is if I have 25% sold in the first hour, that means I have 25% of 120 sold. So I'm gonna find 25% of 120 sold. Okay, and then I need the stuff that's left. Okay, so left, you got 0.4 of left sold. Okay, we gotta be careful here. Okay, this is too big, I can't see anything. All right, so 25%, I need to turn that into a decimal, okay, or a fraction. In this case, I like the fraction because it's easier. So I just end up doing 120 divided by 4, because if I multiply across the top, across the bottom, I get that. And that is going to be 30 apples, okay? So 30 apples are sold. So that means there are 120 total minus 30 sold equals 90 left, okay? So left, we have 0.4 of the left sold, okay? So now I'm going to find 0.4 of 90, okay? It's already a decimal, okay? So I'm just going to use the decimal this time. If you wanted, you could turn that into 4/10. So that's 0, 36, 0, 0, 1 decimal place. So we get 360 with 1 decimal place is 36. Okay, so this is the sold. The sold. So that means, what do I have left in total? What's left is 100, no, not 120. I had 90 left, so I have to do 90 minus 36 is 5? I can't do math. Yes, I can. Haha. So 54 apples are left. So 54 apples are left. Okay, so if it ever says like whatever of the remaining, this is how you have to do it. Okay. Next, number 4. Sam completed 0.875 of a lap. Write this as a fraction in simplest form and as a percent. So given, we just know, okay, we're given the decimal of how much he completed. Lap completed. Okay, required, we need that as a fraction and as a decimal, and the fraction we have to simplify it. So to write a decimal to a fraction, I look at my last decimal place, which is the thousandths. I'm putting this over a thousandth, and then I have to simplify. Now there is a cool trick if you want. If you are interested, you can memorize the fractions of 1/8. I believe this is a fraction of an eighth. I'm going to have to test that theory though. Okay, so first, if I divide by 25, 100 has 4 25s, so 800 is going to have 32 25s, plus 3 25s is 35 25s. And I said I was dividing by 25. So 100 has 25s, 1000 is going to have 40. Okay, I'm going to divide this by 5. So it's going to turn to 7/8. So I was correct. All right. So again, if you're interested, you can try and memorize the 1/8 to 7/8 as decimals. Kind of useful. If not, I would just divide by 5 slowly, because I know 5 and 0 are divisible by 5, so I just slowly do that until I get here. Okay, now as a decimal, decimals are easy, right? 2%. I just have to multiply by 100, so I go 0.875, I multiply by 100, 1, 2, 87.5%. Okay, so answer the question. 0.875 laps is 7/8 as a fraction, and I should probably say I divided by 25 there. Divided by 25, divided by 25. And so is 7/8 as a fraction and 8 reset. Okay. Next, drama club. Okay, drama club had 80 students last year. This year, membership increased by 12.5%. How many students are in the club now? Okay, remember the original number is always 100%. So they've given us that 80 students, okay, is original, which means that's equal to 100%. If we have increased, okay, so new membership, okay, equals 100% plus 12.5%. That means in total we have 112.5%. And now required equals new number of students. Okay, so you can do two things. You can either do 80 times 112%, or you can find 12.5% of 80 and then add it. Okay, so once again, I'll be nice. I'll do both of them. All right. Okay, so first one is the easy one. I just do this percent of 80. That as a decimal is going to be, I have to go 1, 2, right? So that's going to be 1. Oh, this is big. Hold on. Whoopsies, I'm drawing on the actual thing. Anyway, ignore that. What am I doing? Okay. I'm going to zoom in here. So that as a decimal is 1.125 times 80. Okay, so 0, 0, 0, 0, placeholder. That's 40. 16 plus 4 is 20. 8 plus 2 is 10. 9, add it. Okay, 3 decimal places, 90. Okay, so either that's my new number of students, or I can do 12.5% of 80. I'm going to turn that into a decimal. Or if you want a fraction, it's actually going to be 1/8. Okay, so multiples of 125 are 1/8. But anyway, I'll do that times 80 first. 5. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? I didn't. Oh, I did it again. Oh no. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Okay. 0, 0, 0, 0. Placeholder. 8 times 5 is 40. 4 plus 16 is 20. 10, 9. Okay, as you can see, we got the same thing. We got the same thing. Did I do something wrong? I think I did. And why do I think I did something wrong? Because I got the same answer from multiplying with a 1. I did something wrong. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. 0, 0, 0, 0, 40, 20, 20. So that, oh, that should have been a 1. That should have been a 1. Whoops-a-daisies. Okay, let's see what happens here. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That's 20. That's 10. This is a 1. Oh, yikes. Okay, there we go. That makes more sense. Okay, so it's 10 people, okay? Or 1/8 times this is 80 over 8. 80 divided by 8 is 10, okay? That's the number of new students, though. Okay, so total equals 80 plus 10 equals 90 students. Okay, so in total, there are now 90 students in the club. Okay, cool. A biking trail is 18 kilometers long. Okay, Ella completed 2/3 of it. Owen completed 0.68 of it. Who biked farther and by how many kilometers? So firstly, we are asking what's given, right? So the total bike trail is 18 kilometers. Ella got 2/3 finished. Owen got this much finished. Who biked further and by how many kilometers? So if you know percentages, you know that 0.68 is bigger. If you didn't, you need to turn this into a percentage, which you can do by doing top divided by bottom. Okay, and then you would get 0.6 repeating forever. Okay, so the first thing we know is that Owen biked further, but we also need to know by how much. Okay, so required A, who went further, and B, how much further. Okay, so let's do that. So first we have to find out who went further, we also need to know or how much further, sorry. We need to know how much they biked. Okay, so we're gonna do 2/3 of 18, okay, which is gonna be 2/3 times 18 over 1 is 36 over 3, which is 12 kilometers. So this is Ella. Owen is going to be 0.68 of 18, which is equal to this times 18. 48 plus 6 is 54. Carry the 5. That's just a 5. And then space holder 860. Add 4, 12, 12, 1, 2 decimal places, 12.24 kilometers. So who went further? Well, Owen went further by 0.24 kilometers. Okay. If you didn't know, you can subtract. You can do 12.24 minus 12, which is just 0.24. So we answer a question now. Owen biked further by 0.24 kilometers. Cool. Number 7. Okay, given. Given is 9/20 is pretzel. Oh look, what percentage of the mix is not pretzels? We did so many of these as the percentage of a ratio question. If you have a problem with this one, you can go check the other practice videos for question 6. Okay, so required, we need not pretzel percentage. Okay, so you have two options. You can either find fraction of not pretzel and then turn into a percentage, or you find percentage of pretzel and then subtract. Okay, so I'll do both because I'm nice. So percentage, fraction of pretzel, I can turn into percentage of pretzel by doing a couple things. One, I can do decimal and then percentage, or I can make an equivalent fraction. Look, it's 45 out of 100, which automatically means 45%. But this is, again, 45% pretzel. We need not pretzel. So not pretzel is going to be 100% minus 45%, which is 55% not pretzel. Okay, so that's the first option. Your second option is we find not pretzel fraction. Okay, so if 9/20 is pretzel, how much is not pretzel? Well, what's left, right? If it's out of 20, then we have 11/20 not pretzel. Okay, so now that we have the not pretzel fraction, we can turn it into the not pretzel percentage. So again, two options. You can either do top divided by bottom times 100, or I'm going to make an equivalent fraction out of 100 because my denominator is a factor of 100 20 times. Okay, so 55 over 100 is automatically 55%. Therefore, my answer is automatically 55% of the mix is not pretzels. Alrighty. I'm tired, you're tired. We got this. We got this. Okay? It's not even 12 o'clock yet. The day is young. You've completed 47% of an online course. Convert this to a decimal, then determine what fraction of the course is left. So please be careful here. Okay, so they're asking, or they've given, I should say, 47% done. Okay, required. They said convert it to a decimal. So we need decimal of done and then fraction left. So these are not the same thing. Fraction left or fraction not done. Okay. So my game plan is I'm just going to convert the percentage into a decimal because that gets my first answer. And then I can do two things for the fraction left. But obviously we're going to have to convert something to a fraction. Okay. Okay. Let's do the decimal first. So percentage to decimal, easy. Divide, multiply. No, divide by 100. Okay. Remember, if you're unsure, it should get smaller. So if it's not getting smaller, you did it wrong. So that's equal to 0.47. Okay. So the decimal is 0.47. We did that. Fraction left. Okay, you have two options. One, you can do percentage left, which is 100 minus 47%, right? Because if it's percent, 100 is the total. That's going to give you 53% left. And then I need it as a fraction, right? So I can automatically turn this into 53 over 100. And then because 53 is a prime number, I am done. So that is the fraction left. Okay. This is kind of not really a word problem, but you should still try and write it. So 47%, I'll write it somewhere else. Is there an undo button here? I feel like there should be. Undo? There is an undo button. Okay. So anyway, decimal is 0.47. Fraction left is 53 over 100. Okay. 2 questions left. 2 out of 20. No, 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. That's 20% left. Okay. Okay, 0.37 of phone battery. What is gone? Okay, so you used it. So that's how much is gone. So I'm given a decimal. I need to turn to a percentage. What percent? And then I need percent left. Okay, so percent, decimal to percent is easy. Multiply by 100 or move the decimal place twice. I get 37%. What percent is left? Percent left equals 100% minus this equals 63%. So 63%. So 37% of my battery is gone and 63% is left. That was easy. Okay, last one, 10% left. A clothing store gives 8% of your purchase back as reward points. If you spend $95, how many dollars worth of points do you earn? Write 8% as a fraction and show the calculation. Okay, so given, so you get 8% of purchase back. So that means if I spend like $10, I get 8% of my $10 back. Okay. So then I am spending $95 spent. So that's going to be my total, or my 100%. And then what are they asking for? How much money do I get back? Which is basically asking me what is 8% of 95. And then I also need to find the percent as a fraction. Okay, so those are my two things, A and B. Okay. Whew. So I'm going to do 8% of 95. I turn that into a decimal or a fraction. I prefer decimal. I'm going to do that. Okay. So 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 9 is 72. Plus 4 is 76. 76. Okay. Next, 0, 0. Two placeholders, 0, 0 for these two zeros. Okay. Add them up. I get two decimal places. So $7.60. So 8% of $95 is $7.60 back. Okay, so I did A. Next percent, fraction. I need to turn it into a fraction. Okay, so next I have to do 8% into a fraction, which is pretty easy because if it's a percent, you can just do it over 100 and then simplify. I can simplify that by 4. So divide by 4, divide by 4. I can't divide anymore. And if I have to show my calculation, I should probably say what I simplified it by. Okay, so now I answer. So I earn $7.60 back, and 8% is 2/25 as a fraction. Done. It's lunchtime. All right, I hope you're practicing.